Welcome back, audience. This is day 6, and we are moving towards the final effects of attention and perception biases. Okay, this is the thumbnail. Tell me, what do you think about this thumbnail? Okay, I am already using all the effects and biases into my design and into my thumbnails, whatever. Okay, so please tell me if this is working or not. Okay, and we are moving towards the final step of attention bias. Okay, then we are going to hit the memory biases. Okay, make sure that you hit subscribe. Okay, and also make sure that you are watching this whole video in 1.5x or 2x. Why? Because it is helpful for you to not waste time if you think that I am slow. Okay, so watch it in 1.5x or 2x. Okay, and please, yeah, like, subscribe, and tell me if this series is really helpful for you or not. Okay, great. So we are moving towards the ending session. So there is a question here. Okay, if you have ever wondered why users stick with the default, why red buttons feel urgent, or why your first impression matters more than the middle, this is your episode, guys. Okay, this is first is the aesthetic usability effect. Pardon for the music in the background. So, attractive things feel easier to use. When something looks good, people assume it also works well, even if it doesn't. Attractive designs create an immediate first impression of usability. When users can encounter aesthetically pleasing products, they often perceive them as easier and more intuitive to use, regardless of functionality. Okay, the example here is that you you buy a sleek new iPhone. Okay, even if the settings are confusing for you, but you still forgive it because it looks premium. The beauty buys it patience. You are ready to learn it. Okay, because you think that iPhone. The Apple logo is missing right here. Okay, so use aesthetic usability effect. When purchasing a stylish smartphone, users often overlook confusing settings because its appearance evokes feelings of quality and reliability, highlighting the impact of aesthetics on usability perceptions. Let's move to the next example. A website with clean design and modern fonts feels more trustworthy than a cluttered one, even if both have the same content, right? Something which looks pleasing, it is more believable. Okay, you are going to trust the product and service other than the cluttered one, right? A well designed website with a clean layout instills confidence in users, while a cluttered design can lead to distrust. This highlights the significant impact of aesthetics on user experience and decision making. Let's move toward next thing. Yeah, I already talked about the beauty signals usability, right, and design as persuasion. Okay, so we are moving toward the color bias. Okay, color bias. What is color bias? Exploring cultural influences on emotions. Colors trigger cultural and emotional responses that shape perception and behavior. Red is equivalent to urgency or danger. Green is equivalent to safety. And blue is equivalent to trust. But meaning vary by culture. Because in China, red is not supposed to be dangerous. Red is supposed to be energy, okay, enthusiasm, something like that. Okay, that's why even Coca-Cola have the red color. Okay, so it have different meaning sometimes, depending on the situation, depending on how you are telling a story behind it. Okay, so colors triggers cultural and emotional responses. Great. So what is the example? You see a red notification bubble on your phone. You feel compelled to check it immediately, even if it's just a spam. Okay, the red notification badge on smartphone compels immediate attention. This automatic emotional response illustrates how color can trigger an urgent reaction, influencing user behavior significantly. Great. Let's move on to other. The color psychology in branding. Fast food chains use red and yellow, like McDonald's and KFC, because those colors trigger appetite and speed. Banks use blue color because it signals trust and stability. Okay, that's the thing, guys. This is color psychology. Color psychology and branding. Okay, so the analysis that emotional triggers, right? The colors can evoke powerful emotional reactions influencing how we perceive products and brands. Understanding these triggers allow marketers to create more effective campaigns that resonate with consumers. Strategic selections. Designers must thoughtfully consider color choices as they can significantly impact user behavior. Utilizing colors that align with desired emotions can enhance user experience and brand loyalty. Okay, now moving on to the default bias. Okay, default bias, understanding preset options in our choices. People stick with the preset option even when better choices exist. Our brains love the path of least resistance. Least resistance. Defaults are powerful because people often stick with preset option. Preset, already set. Okay, like by default. By default. Why this default means that? Default means that the past. Okay, you are experiencing the past. You are familiar with something. You are familiar with, okay, something, it is coming under the habit. Okay, the habit you have, the routine. Okay, that's what the default is, preset. Even when better choices exist, because maybe you are very much into the chat gpt. Okay, very much into chat gpt, so you like ChatGPT the most, that's why you are using it for the 100% of your task. Okay, but maybe copilot is better. Okay, or Gemini have some great updates and you don't even know about it, and you are still don't don't even think that, okay, I have to use it or I have to just try it. No, because you have this habit to use chat gpt, that's why you are using it. Okay, you're not even searching in the market that is there other ai exist to help me and also they are accurate. No, because you have the habit of using chat gpt. These bias reflect the brain's preference for the path of least resistance, influencing many decisions. So most people never change their phone's default ringtone, right? Default ringtone. Even though dozens of options exist. Why? Because defaults feel safe and easy. Default feels safe and easy. Great. Next, Next example is that default bias in marketing, understanding how defaults drive decisions and revenue. Users often overlook preset options like auto renewals, leading to unintended subscriptions. This highlights the ethical considerations designers face when settings defaults, impacting user behavior significantly. Okay, so like subscription services auto check renew automatically, right? You know about it, that renew automatically, they always show you, and most users leave it as it is. That default drives billions in recurring revenue. Okay, that auto renewal, this exists in all subscription models. Okay, so default bias, understanding why default shape behavior. Defaults often serve as implicit recommendations, leading users to choose preset options without questioning alternatives, as it that alternatives does not even exist, thus shaping decisions significantly without the need for persuasion. Guys, I'm just asking you, tell me, you are using that same soap, okay, for cleaning yourself, same shampoo, okay, you are using the same path to drive, okay, same path to get into your home, okay, to reach to your home, right? You are using those same apps, right? Same apps for productivity or to-do list or note, right? So these are the biases, these are the default biases you have. You are not considering other things, other researches. There are so many researches happen in these stuff, okay, researches not in path, but soap, shampoo, or apps. Maybe you are right now, what shampoo you are using is not going to give you any kind of effect. It is not cleaning your scalp, but you are not researching. Okay, you know, humans are tend to have this, what we say, comfort, tend to have this ability that we look for comfort. Okay, we don't want to waste our energy. That's why we do not even think that sometimes using energy is far more better than being in a comfort. Okay, so ethical design. Designers can ethically set defaults to guide users toward better choices, creating a balance between ease of use and the empowerment of informed decision making. Right? So we move towards the primacy and recency effect. Great. Primacy and recency effect. Understanding memory bias in perception. The primacy recency effect reveals that we tend to remember the first and last items presented best, often overlooking the middle. These bias significantly impacts our judgment and decisions. Great. So do you understand that? Primacy and recency effect. Like we remember the first and last items best, right? And forgot the middle, the first thing. The first thing is in the website. First thing is header, okay? And the last thing is that CTA, right? That CTA, that call to action button. That's how a website can convert users into their customers. If they are not using the primacy recency effect in reality in their website, they are going to fail. Okay, so right now here the primacy effect works in the funnels. Okay, in the funnels they have the CTA in the ending section. By telling a story, they tell a story in between, but in the header they have a hook. Okay, in the starting point they have a hook. Okay, that's the thing, guys. So we remember the first thing and last thing. And like a relatable thing here, I have some examples. Like academics, in studying a chapter, the concepts introduced in the first few pages are often recalled more easily on a test than those buried in the middle, right? In the lesson 1, if you are reading, you are going to easily learn the first section, right? First section, what is going on in this lesson. But in the middle part you are going to forget, and the last part also you are going to remember. Okay, the last part, how this is ending, but you are going to miss the middle one, right? That's how that's when we used to write this, and that how we write the middle one. Okay, we used to look for the question. Okay, just copy the question. Okay, and then write something else, and then just put the answer here. Great. So presentations, a speaker's opening statement on main idea is typically the most memorable part of a lecture or pitch, right? In the presentation, in ted talks in ted talks you most likely going to forget the middle part, the middle main part of that video, but you are going to remember the starting part and the ending part if you have watched the complete video. Shopping list, if you quickly scan a long shopping list, you are more likely to remember the first couple of items without looking again. Yeah, in the shopping list too. The recency effect. Recency. A waiter does not need to write down the last dish a customer orders. It's still active in their short term working memory, right? In the restaurant, the last dish, that. Concerts, audience members often leave a concert humming the final song as it's the freshest melody in their mind. In the in a song, it doesn't matter what song you are singing, you most likely going to forget the middle part, right? The middle part of that song, but you are going to remember the starting part, right? The starting part and the ending part, and most likely people are going to hum the ending part. Okay, I don't know what song you like, but in the concert you most likely going to hear that people are just singing the last part most of the time, because that was the simple thing, because that have the the catch, right? The hook. Then the debates. The candidate who delivers the closing statement leaves the audience with a strong, immediate impression, often swaying opinions right before a decision is made. Yeah, in the debate too. So these are the implementation stuff. Okay, we are just moving towards the ending. Okay, guys. So in the first section, practical practice. Okay, our memory isn't fair. The beginning sets the tone, the ending leaves the impression, and the middle gets fuzzy. That's why first impression and closing moments matter the most. Okay, so on the perspective level, you have to just like when you are judging based on first or last impression, ask, am I ignoring something? Okay, am I ignoring something? Sorry for the background noise. I don't know, whenever I am making the video they are always there. Maybe the truck drivers are also listening to my video. Great. So on the notebook level, write down 3 times, or not 3 times, 3 things. Okay, 3 things. 3 things. Write down 3 things this week when you stuck with a default, or judge by the looks, or remembered only the start and end. Reflect, did it shape your choice? Okay, remember the aesthetic usability effect. Okay, the default bias, the color choice, right? And the ending, primacy and recency effect. Okay, just think about it and ask, like, your perception, did you buy the stuff based on these 4 models? Okay, just think. Right, on the implementation level, just invest in a clean, attractive design to build instant trust. Okay, use colors strategically. Red for urgency, blue for trust, green for go. Okay, default bias, set ethical defaults that guide users toward the best outcome. Okay, best outcome. And for the primacy recency, put a key info at the start. As I said, put the key info at the very start, and then at the end have that flow. Okay, that flow, that CTA, call to action button or buy button, right? That's it. So this is the conclusion, this is the end, everything. Like, we had learned the aesthetic usability effect, the color bias, default bias, primacy, recency effect, and these biases explain why design, color, default, and timing shape behavior more than logic. Tomorrow we will move into memory and recall biases and see how our brain rewrite the past. Okay, rewrite the past. So we are going to learn this stuff, guys. So yeah, let's connect and subscribe now. Subscribe it, subscribe, guys, subscribe. Please subscribe the channel, subscribe the channel. That's how we end this video with my ending dialogue. Keep it simple and build it bold. Thank you.